We have officially made it into the park. It's a little bit after 11 o'clock when the park opened. As you can tell, I'm bundled up today, which is crazy because just Thursday it was 72 degrees and I was in shorts and a t-shirt, but now I'm in a winter jacket with my hood up. But first thing we're going to do is try to go over to the Safari Off-Road Adventure, because that's back to the original of what it used to be since COVID. So we're going to check if that's open and before the crowds get over there. Then after that, I think we're going to try to hit El Toro. As we were making our way over to Safari Off-Road Adventure, I have a couple things here for the Safari Spring Break celebration, which does run from March 28th to April 12th. They do have an animal encounter. We'll definitely have to come back and check this out a little bit later on. Times are 12:15, 1:30, and 3:45. Not too far from that animal encounter is a look at the Safari Celebration stage. Very nice setup here. Lots of detail in that. They said we'll come back and check this out a little bit later on today. And they got one of the safari trucks set up too, right by the stage, which is what we're going to be getting on as long as it's open today. Still one of my favorite spots in the park too, whether that's get a video or take a picture. Soon we should be seeing that mystery purple coaster pop up somewhere over there, over El Toro. Another thing that you're going to notice when you do come to the park is the log flume is actually getting an extensive overhaul, which the plan is to have that open this year. As you probably remember, if you come to the park, this ride's been either down or just not open, but there is some painting going on, which if this is open along with the Safari Off-Road Adventure, it's going to bring a lot of life back to this area of the park, which it definitely needs. It's been, non-existent over the past couple of seasons, so it's exciting to see this area, like I said, come back to life. As I mentioned, Best of the West will be coming back this year. I think it was supposed to be called Smokehouse Barbecue, but then it went back to Best of the West. But I can't wait to come back to that because it's been one of my favorite places to eat. But here's a new sign for Six Flags Safari Off-Road Adventure. Very nice. Can't wait to get back on this again. Glad they brought it back. Before you do get on a ride, here's a look at a little bit of an artistic map showing the Safari Off-Road Adventure. 50 years in the making, 1,200 animals from 6 continents, 350 rugged acres and miles of memories. Welcome to the adventure. Pretty cool art piece here before you get on. Don't know if I remember this or not, but it does look rather new, or at least updated. And it is indeed open. Walking back up these steps again. There's the log flume and then onto the station.
Chris. Everybody say hi to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
You ready for a wild ride?
Yeah.
So just a couple of safety rules. First, make sure you're staying in your seats. Keep your seatbelts on. Don't stand up and switch seats during the ride. Also, no eating on the ride. That could be a choking hazard. It could also attract animals. Don't try to steal your food. If you have chips out on an end row, you might get bit by an ostrich as they try to steal your food from you. They can actually reach you in this truck. They're 9 feet tall, so they come up to about here. And most importantly, no touching or feeding animals. It's actually against the law to touch exotic animals. Here in New Jersey is a no-touch state. So how many of you guys have been on the safari before? Oh, you all have. Have you been on the base camp tour? Have you been to base camp, the place over there by the old safari entrance? And now welcome to the wild safari. Everyone say hi to the gate guards. They should probably be somewhere over right over here on your right. So we're cutting through the tiger. On your left, you have some what looks kind of like bighorn sheep. Those are Barbary sheep. They're actually from Africa. And then we have the black buck antelope, which are native to India. A small, really fast antelope, closely related to gazelles. The reason why we have the Roosevelt elk, which is the largest subspecies. They're named after Theodore Roosevelt because of all the conservation efforts he did to help those elk and other creative preserve for them. He also created the national park system, so he did a lot for wildlife conservation during his presidency in the early 1900s. Domesticated, creating the llama and the alpaca, and both of them are basically raised for their wool, especially the alpaca. Kind of helps them to make sharp turns when running really fast. Also, actually in that building over there, there's a huge elephant barn, plenty big enough for the elephants. It's fully heated, so they're nice and warm inside there. Look at that when you see the rhinos a little closer up. On your left, these are water buffalo. Now, you might expect to see water buffalo in Africa, but these are actually not the African species. This species has two horns. The Indian rhino has one horn on the nose. Notice these have one big nose horn and a smaller one behind it on the forehead. Big difference there. Okay, so now we got some antelope in this section. On your right, these are Ellipsis water buck. They belong to a group known as the deer-like antelopes, which are a member, resemble scimitar swords, long and curved. And the scimitar horned oryx are critically endangered oryxes, very closely related to the Bisa oryx. They have the same, most of the things about the two species are the same, but they were hunted to extinction in the wild by year 2000 in the wild, and there's now about 600 in the wild. Now we just passed these cattle here, red and collie cattle, also called Watusi cattle. That's a unique breed of domestic cattle. This is from Rwanda in Africa. They're the traditional livestock of the Tutsi tribe in Rwanda. Now, browsers eating leaves from trees and bushes.
Yep.
So they actually are what we call mega browsers because they are giant animals that eat the leaves from the trees and bushes. They are 18 feet tall, the tallest land animal in the world, and they use their height to reach really high up into the trees, enough that they've been added to the endangered species list, unfortunately. Horns, and that's also true of the wildebeest. Now, we have wildebeest again. You might notice they're actually a near threatened species in Africa, where they live in the mountains and the Mediterranean. But they also live in the Sahara Desert itself. They live in very mountainous, rocky areas. The males have another big feature, the huge mane. Now, lions are one of the few social species of cats. A lot of cats will be somewhat social, but not forming really distinct groups like the lion does. And of course, the group is called a pride. Normally, a pride is a family group with an alpha male. So horns, the antlers actually fall off every single year and grow a brand new set. And now, welcome to populations that are critically endangered and only way out in the mountains. This is one of the smaller subspecies of brown bear, only getting up to about 700 or 800 pounds, while the grizzly from North America. How many of you saw an old movie that had a huge giant bear on it? Like from the 80s, for example? Now the kangaroos, they can hop and pin it to the ground. They will hit with their paws, called kangaroo boxing. You can see the males are reddish colored. You can easily tell them apart there. Now males are called jacks, females are jills, and the babies are called joeys. Dogs that reverted back to the wild. Now, did you guys see any birds in this section? Did you notice the emus? Males tend to be a little bit smaller, about 500 pounds maybe, but generally the female tigers are much larger than female lions. So here we have 5 young Siberian tigers. We used to have a number of Bengals as well. Now, Bengal tigers are native to India and are an endangered species, but not critically endangered. There were about 10, including ones in human care. On your right, you guys see those nilgai? The ant in China and North Korea. Siberian tigers, a lot of different animals. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all those animals. So that's all set. Please watch your stuff. Have a great day today. You're welcome.
Thank you. One thing that I didn't get to cover was the queue line, because it's not really busy right now on the Safari Off-Road Adventure, but this will be the queue you wait on. It definitely will get busier in the summertime, but they did clean it all up and looks just like it did when it was open on opening day. So again, it's good to see this open. I love this ride. It's such a good thing to have in this area to park, to bring this area to park back to life. And as you're passing the queue line, I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but they are doing some work on the log flume. I think they're sanding it down, repainting it, trying to get that ready for Memorial Day is when you'll see that when it's a little bit warmer. Not today, that's for sure. Like I said, the Safari was absolutely amazing. It's good to be on that again, just like it was when it first opened up. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's all up to you if you want to do it or not, but I wouldn't ride it in the cold because it was absolutely freezing and it's windy today. Definitely wait till it gets a little bit warmer out, especially because a lot more animals will be out when it is warmer. But we're going to go ahead and check out El Toro. I haven't seen it running today, so that has me a little bit worried. It could be the cold, it could be too windy. But we're going to go head over there and see if we can get a ride on El Toro. It does look like El Toro is running, but it's not quite ready yet. They do have test dummies on there, so it's still going to take about another maybe 30 minutes until they get that open, depending on where they started at. So probably going to go ahead and check out other stuff at the park, like some updates on the new Seashore Pier and the new coaster for 2027. As you can see, people are still waiting around for El Toro. They just announced that it's down, so we're going to go head over to the Seashore Pier, check out some updates. You guys can tell by the flag, the wind is definitely whipping here today, and it's just making it feel 10 times colder than it actually is. But as we're approaching the boardwalk, you can already tell to the right, you can just see Superman clear as day. That's because they got rid of the boardwalk games that used to be in that area. Now it's open. Not sure what the plan is with that yet, but I do know this whole area, at some point, hopefully next year or in the years to come, it'll be redone. Definitely never a fan of it, so it's definitely a nice change to see this. But let's go ahead and check out the new construction. Here's our first look at the 2027 Mystery Purple Coaster. Looks like they are currently working on it. Try to get over the fence here. The fence is very low, so you can see a lot of things going on. But let me straighten my camera out here. Right here you do have the station. It's going to be a dual station, so that's nice to see, especially a ride like this. Wish that would have happened with the Flash. But from that station, you'll have your first launch into what looks like it's going to be the first stall of the ride. Like I said, they're currently working on that. But the new Shoreline Pier, all the way to Superman, they have the advertisements for it. I'm very excited for this area. And as you can see, I don't know if you can really tell, I'll try to get out of the shadow here. This is concrete to look like the boardwalk. This is the finished product. This is what it's going to look like. This is going to go all the way towards Superman. Very, very impressed with what I see here. It's going to be late spring when it's open, but they're definitely tirelessly working, getting it done for that late spring open. But again, I'm very excited. This is what this park needs. It's going to be in very good shape once it's done. Like I said, this goes all the way down to Superman. No more go-karts. That is officially gone. Slingshot is here to stay. But yeah, I'm excited for this to be done. Now, as we were walking down from Superman looking at the new construction, looks like in one of the old games areas, they're going to be bringing a remote control bumper car in this area. As we're walking through this section of the boardwalk, we're going to get some of the new concrete that they did lay down over the off season with some of the pattern in it. As you can see right here, it goes from red to brown to red and gray.
Guys, come on over to play. Papa will win a prize.
You guys like hats? We got hats.
Bro, good dang. Definitely like you're down the shore when you're walking through the boardwalk games. They're trying to pass it and get you to play. Part of the job. One of the new reimagined eats coming to Main Street this year. Hopefully you can hear me over the music, but it's the Main Street Pub. The colors on this look absolutely amazing, and I'll go ahead and post a picture now of what it used to look like. But one of the things that they have on the menu that I'm looking forward to are the fish and chips. One of my go-tos anytime I go out to eat and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't know when this is going to be open. Hopefully soon, but I definitely cannot wait to check this out. But since we mentioned food, I do think it's time to head over to Granny's Kitchen, one of my favorite spots here in the park, to get some food. I'll show you guys a little bit of what they got and give you my observation on if it's good, which, trust me, it's going to be. Scratch that. Granny's was a little bit too busy just because it is cold. Everybody's trying to eat inside. So we're going to actually go over to Yum Yum Cafe, which I've actually never eaten at since it's been, what is the word I'm looking for? I like to say reimagined or just renovated. I haven't been there since, so we'll go over there. Hopefully that's not crowded. If it is, I think we're going to try the cheesesteak place on the boardwalk. And hopefully that's not busy either, but we'll see once we get over there. Don't know if we're going to be getting on the Flash today. I guess we'll go check out, but I'm assuming that's going to be the longest line here at the park today. But I do want to get on El Toro, so maybe after we're done eating, we'll get on El Toro. You can see the water fountain blowing over to the side here, so something you don't want to walk through on a day like today. As you can see, the water spot there here in the front. So no zone on a day like today. There's another look at the Main Street Pub. Coming up on Yum Yum Cafe. Like I said, hopefully this isn't crowded as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. If it isn't, it's a little bit bigger than Grandma's is, so hopefully we can get some food, because I am starving. Yum Yum Cafe was a no-go. We didn't even have to walk in there to just see that it was crowded. One thing I don't like, though, is people are not even eating in there, especially when we walked into Grandma's, or just sitting there to get away from the cold, which is fine, but at least be eating something so people like us can eat. Alrighty, our last and only hope for some food, boardwalk steak and fries. Let's hope it is not busy in here. We just finished up at the cheesesteak place. I spent about $16.20 on a chicken cheesesteak with Cheese Whiz. They didn't have the Cooper Sharp, but I wanted. I heard a lot of people complaining in there about them not having anything, spending the money on it, or the workers. Look, it's opening day. It's what is expected. Things are not going to be perfect. This is the point where they need to get things figured out, because come middle of the season, summertime, they'll be ready to go. So be patient with the workers, please. They're here doing the best they can. But I have less than an hour left here in the park. I'm trying to go to El Toro to see if it's open. I think it was temporarily closed last time I checked. I'm back over by the new coaster for 2027 to see if they have done anything else since we've been in the park in the morning. Because like I said, they are currently working on the ride. So it does look like they added some more poles onto what's going to be the stall. So good to see that the progress is moving along quickly. We'll be back another time here in the season to check on it more. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more come later on. As we're walking through Plaza de Carnaval, do not hear El Toro since I've been walking up this way, so I'm pretty much going to say that it's not open. So if it's not, we're going to pivot to the other side of the park, show another construction update, maybe get on a ride depending on the wait. But if not, we'll get out of here. We'll be back another time, so I'm not too worried about it. Again, it's just nice to be here on opening day. Nothing like it. It does look like El Toro is open, so we're heading in line now. Hopefully it's not too long so we can get on. This will definitely be our last ride of the day, but I'm excited to try this out since the retrack. He do have to put your stuff in a locker when you ride El Toro, and I'll show you guys how it is. One nice thing about this ride is it is free. It doesn't cost anything, which I feel like a lot of rides should be like, instead of having to pay that $2 for a locker to put your stuff in. You just scan your ticket. There. Yep. And it opens a locker for you. Just finished up with El Toro. Let me just say, row 15, it's not it. It was still bouncy. I definitely want to try more spots on the train before I really give what I think about the new track that they did lay down. I know they still have more phases to go, phase 2 and 3, so I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, row 15 was definitely not it. Still an enjoyable ride. Still one of the best coasters out there. But like I said, I do got to get out of here at 2. I got like 10 minutes left. I do want to show one more construction area before I get out of here, and then that's going to be it here from opening day. One thing you'll notice in this area is the new concrete along with the swashbuckler is not here anymore. That's actually being called this super roundup and end up in a new area for 2026. So now this is open. Looks like they did put some pavers over there. Hopefully they add some like benches or something for people to sit in the summertime, which I think they will. Well, everyone, that is going to be it from opening day 2026 here at Six Flags Great Adventure. Love going on the safari again. Love being able to go on El Toro. Like I said, I still got to give it a little bit before I make my final decision on it. It's still glass smooth, but I don't think it's ever going to get there. It's going to get a little bit better, but not like it was opening day. But with that, if you guys have not done so already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up. But with that, thank you all so much for tuning into today's video, and I will see you all in the next adventure. See ya.